What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Jefferson speaking, and today we're at the headquarters of Xpeng to test drive apparently the most advanced auto driving system, CNGP, standing for City Navigation Guided Pilot, in the mass production car Xpeng P5 in the scale of Chinese city roads. Yeah, I'm not trying to offend Tesla fans. FSD simply doesn't work in Chinese cities, at least not for now. CNGP, on the other hand, can. Therefore, it's seriously calling out FSD across the ocean in terms of at least user experience. This beautiful P5 beside me is the first mass production Chinese vehicle to implement a full stack self-developed city level ADAS system. And how much does it cost? Starting with only 30,000 USD. What does the price has to offer us? An amazing car, first of all, and the details can be checked out from one of my previous videos last year. Also, two LiDARs right here with the corresponding software system support are adding strong sauce to the traditional auto driving solutions with only perceptions using radar and vision. The route we're going through today is designed to be as challenging as possible. The total length is 26 kilometers, going through the most hectic roads in this Tier 1 city in China, and our destination is the Canton Tower. There will be 34 traffic lights, 6 left turns, 4 of which are unprotected, meaning the lights turn green together for going straight and left. 8 right turns, 5 tunnels, 6 curved lanes, 1 U-turn, 1 roundabout, 2 bridges, 1 construction, and many more complex road conditions. This already sounds much more intense than the roads the autonomous driving taxi will go through in general, because Xpeng is seriously serving the majority drivers. I'm so hyped right now. Let's go check it out. Can't wait that. Alright guys, we're setting off. Now we have started the City NGP and look at the road. This is called SR, right? Surrounding reality. And we have to put the hand on the steering wheel for regulation purpose and also safety purpose. We saw this taxi aggressively merge in front of us, but I guess the car was smart enough to know that it's not gonna bump into the taxi, so it didn't really stop aggressively. And that was the old logic. Okay, now here's a very challenging U-turn. This is a pretty hard U-turn. And there is a car coming in the front, going reversely. Okay, he has avoided us. We aren't moving, the steering wheel is moving itself. I mean, that was very close, but it knew that we were not going to touch it. Interesting. Okay, so we successfully did the U-turn very efficiently, to be honest. And that could be the same speed me doing the U-turn myself. To be honest, the surrounding reality seems to be much more mature looking than the highway NGP. With all these types of graphics showing the constructions, the roadblocks, and even the roads nearby. Like, they're not even in my vision, but we already know that. I guess that's from high definition map. We can see people riding bikes in the middle of the roads here. The scooters, electric scooters, they could be a little challenging for us, autonomous driving system. Okay, we're merging to the right because we're going into a fastway. Yes. Okay, there's a car riding from us trying to merge. Okay. That stop wasn't too bad. It wasn't very sudden. It seemed to be prepared for that yield. A little bit extra information. Pay attention to the surrounding reality map. You can see a car in front of us with their turning light signals on from this map. And for the lane merging decisions, it also takes the turning signals from other cars nearby into consideration. Okay, so we're going into a fastway after this huge curved lane. Okay, we merged pretty smoothly right after that car. We made way for that car and merged right after. That wasn't bad. Like, my first impression for the CNGP is that it's a lot more experienced than the highway NGP or like previous level 2.5 auto driving assistance. With the reaction time gets shortened pretty obviously. Okay. So in order to achieve the full coverage of urban driving, including driving through viaducts and tunnels, CNGP's perception fusion solution is composed of vision solution with cameras, first of all, complemented by millimeter wave radars and LiDARs, and the upgrade version of the vision perception network from 2D to 3D detection, and also the LiDAR deep information fusion. From what I know, CNGP makes decisions based on the following orders. First, LiDARs to signal the 3D drivable space. Second, lane marking detections, as they're not likely to change, followed by curbs and crash barriers and other moving objects nearby. But the order can change to fit different scenarios. For example, when it's left turning, it'll rather follow the cars around you, as most of the time there are no practical lane markings. And here are a little bit more details on the work distribution of different sensors. While radars offer a precise measurement of speed, LiDARs have its strength lying on giving a direct measurement of 3D drivable space, recognizing signs and animals and unexpected objects falling ahead. And with that being said, they're pretty much giving precise depth estimation to small moving obstacles and predicting like small movements. Remember static objects that used to be a pain as for vision only solution back in the time? The LiDARs can solve that problem smoothly. But objectively speaking, while LiDARs are playing the role of a quick solution by directly telling you to avoid things without knowing what specifically that thing is, vision solution still stands out by providing strong scalability on what it can do for what it can recognize. Okay, there's a car merged right in front of us, so we kind of stopped. We had to do a little sudden stop. But that's what I would do as a experienced driver too, because that guy was the person who performed a bad merging. You know, like I as a driver hate two types of people. First is like drivers who try to merge in front of me, taking things as granted. Second is drivers who don't let me merge in front of them, not letting me take things for granted. I know it sounds a little controversial, but this is probably what a lot of other drivers would think as well. And this is putting a lot of pressure on lane merging decision making of CNGP. So CNGP seems like a very friendly driver, making its way for other people. A little bit more friendly and moral than I am as a driver. Yeah, the alert is telling us to shift left a little bit because we're passing by a bus stop with a large bus trying to merge in front of us. Interesting. It doesn't seem like we're making the way for the bus. What's gonna happen? Okay, we stopped. Let the bus go. Because there was like no obvious lane mark, the CNGP was like shifting a little bit, trying to find the way. That was smart. Wow, look at this road condition. I literally have no idea what it would do. So this is what I like about ADAS the most, because it's kind of like solving a pain point for me. Like when I'm in a traffic jam, it's very annoying to keep switching between the pedals, and that just tires me mentally and physically on my foot. I think ADAS kind of solved that problem by just like taking over that process. But the previous ADAS system, like the previous ACC, wouldn't really merge the lane. Like it doesn't know where to go. It just follows car in the front. I mean, that solves like 60% of the problem. But the City NGP is going to solve the rest of the problem by knowing where to merge to. And you know, like if you don't have City NGP, you're gonna have to like swap lanes all the time by yourself, like turning off the system and turning it back on. That was really annoying. So I think ADAS really makes the whole experience a lot more smooth. So about traffic lights, I am a little concerned because again, it can get pretty complicated sometimes. The traffic light detection is one of the keys for CNGP to succeed with the ridiculous amount of traffic lights during each navigation. The challenging part I can think of for this module, and the first is that the super diverse types of traffic light signaling and the rules can really differ in various cities. And second is I'm not sure what the logic for different scenarios like sudden light change, like yellow lights and red light estimations. So we probably ain't gonna experience all these types of corner cases, but I've asked engineers. Apparently, we're not gonna just like conservatively stop for yellow lights. We'll do predictions whether our current speed is safe to stop for yellow lights or like to go through yellow lights. So I think that's really how like real drivers would think in their head. And if there's like a sudden light change, if the car's like half of the car's body is already out of the line, we'll keep driving as the police would recommend us to. So like those are pretty detailed logic, but CNGP seems to have considered that. Although we probably don't get to experience that, but oh yeah, there are 5 traffic lights here. They're completely reflected in the graph. I assume these are because of high definition map, right? This is what comes in very handy. You know, like if you only have vision and like perceptions from radars and lidars, you don't know what's going on, what's going to happen in the short-coming future. But with high definition map, that's precise into like what centimeter level, you can predict things. Honestly, with road conditions like this, I can just imagine how exhausting it is for me to drive through the whole thing like myself, with all these cars trying to get into my way, and with all these different directions I have to make decisions on. I guess like this is what the charms for this. I guess this is the charm for an autonomous driving system. Like makes decisions for you. You just sit there and you dream about how you're gonna become the richest man in the world while it just does the driving for you. That's a little exaggerated, but realistically you can do, I guess, other things, like other small things. You just don't have to be so tired. This scooter just got in front of us. Stop a little bbit just to get enough space between us. Okay, I guess that's when LiDARs comes in super handy for that precise prediction. Okay, there's a scooter right here. Okay. Alright. This is a nightmare to drive in this city. This is way worse than Hangzhou, where I came from. I think one of the big pain points driving in China is that when roads get super complex, there are so many directions in front of you. Just kind of like, first of all, it's hard for me to know which direction to go. Like, I go into the wrong direction just looking at the navigation myself all the time. It wastes a ton of my time before. And I couldn't really blame the map. It could just be me making the wrong decisions, right? And second is that the time that I spend on looking at the map, trying to figure out where to go when I'm driving on high speed, is just dangerous itself. So the value for CNGP in that case is that when I'm not sure where to go, I just turn on CNGP right there. It's just gonna go by itself. And that just solves the problem completely. And that's on real value. Multiple layers here, and there are like multiple lanes that we have to make decisions for. It's a little complicated here. Wow, that was really close. That car like almost hit us, but we stopped at the right time. Well done, well done. So there are two directions here, and a lot of cars get confused. That's why they try to merge, like cross multiple lanes in front of us. But yeah, with CNGP, I guess we don't have that problem. We always know where the right way to go. And also the surrounding reality is so much better than the navigation map you get from the navigation app. Because it clearly like illustrates the roads. That's what the normal maps can't do. I wonder why they can't do this. Okay, so we're about to approach a roundabout. Roundabout in China is that type of places where even very experienced drivers will get confused and nervous. I'm a little anxious right now. Let's see how it goes. People aren't going to follow the lane marking, if there are any lane marking in the first place. Okay. Look at this. It's green lights first of all. Okay, we can turn. Okay, there's a car like not following the lane marking clearly. They're close to us. Okay. And this is green light for us. Lucky for us. Yo, but look at this bus completely missing their lane. Okay. See, this car just gets in front of us. Oh, because he has to exit there. Well, I guess that's the challenging part for roundabout. Okay, luckily, we made it through without getting interrupted. Well, I mean, general performance for CNGP. From what I heard, it never really failed. So yeah, just like for roundabout, you got first watch the traffic flow, and it doesn't flow in a straight line, so it's challenging on the side perception. And all these cars are moving at a rather high speed, and in order to squeeze in, like to exit, there can be hesitation. But like for us, that wasn't too like there wasn't too much trouble in terms of that. And exiting while not getting in the way of other cars is also one of the concerns. And normally when I drive around the roundabouts, I would take the advantage of EV's strong acceleration to avoid potential troubles. But like for this experience, like we didn't need that. Definitely, like we're doing consecutive lane changing to the very right. It seems like we're going to enter and exit to our destination. Well, this large truck. I'm pretty sure like a newbie driver will get nervous. Oh, this is Canton Tower. We're here. Well, that was really fast, to be honest. I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to take like 50 minutes just to get there. So with everything being handled so perfectly so far, it's worth for me to mention that one of the challenges for LiDAR solutions is when random raindrops bouncing back, giving pressure to the LiDARs on recognizing whether they're permanent obstacles for proceeding operations. And from what I've known, CNGP is still in the process of recognizing. Oh, yellow light. Yeah, so we just passed by a yellow light, knowing that it's safe to go through it, following the traffic rules completely. From what I've known, CNGP is still in the process of recognizing people lying down or sitting in a wheelchair or squatting. I guess that just doesn't really happen in general anyway, so it's okay to put that down the priority list. And it's also lacking the ability to recognize potholes very well. And for bad weathers, it should be okay, like raining, strong rains, strong wind should be fine. But extreme weathers like hails flying around the sensors, there will probably be troubles for CNGP, but I doubt anybody has the ball to use auto driving in such cases. I know a lot of people get nervous using ADAS, but honestly, I wasn't scared at all. Like maybe for the roundabout a little bit, but like most of the time I wasn't scared at all because I have experienced a lot of Xpeng's highway NGP, and I have a lot of trust in their perception and reactions. And also the CNGP has just proved that I had the right expectation. It was smooth. And it made me recall one time it was a really bad rain, like on the highway. I couldn't even see anything myself. And I tried NGP, it just worked perfectly, like it worked way better than my own vision. Okay, so we have reached our destination. We're gonna stop here. Okay guys, now is my turn to experience CNGP, and now we have started officially Okay, everything has changed, and there's a red light in front of us, so we are stopping. Okay. Yeah, I'm putting my hands on the steering wheel. Okay, so it doesn't really matter how long that we're stopping. You don't have to re-step on the pedal in order to reactivate the ADAS system like we had to do for previous level of ADAS system. We're slowing down because we are on the intersection. There are a couple cars in front of me. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? That was seamless. I think as a typical Xpeng style for acceleration adjustment, the CNGP is also being pretty conservative with slow acceleration to make sure that the passengers are comfortable, they're not getting dizzy. It's typical Xpeng style. It's all for the comfort. It is a big curve lane. Well, I don't think it's challenging for the CNGP at all. It's literally a U-turn. Actually, I love to dream about becoming the richest man in the world when I'm driving. And the CNGP is just definitely making it easier for me. Okay, this car. Okay, this is very interesting, right? Like this car got in front of us. And normally for auto driving, it wouldn't really make such a quick decision just to bypass it by merging into the other lane. That's what we did. I don't understand the lane marking here. Like the lane just shows up in the middle of the previous lanes. So it doesn't seem like it caused any problems for the CNGP. Wow. So that car just gets in front of me pretty quickly, and we aren't stopping. According to the regular logic, I know that if there's a car gets in front of us, all of a sudden we'll have a hard brake, but it didn't. It didn't brake that hard at all. It didn't stop at all, and it did a left merging right after that. I just don't know how to explain that, but that was incredible decision making and reaction time. Wow, we're trying to merge, and the car behind us was very close. According to the normal logic for NGP, we wouldn't have merged, but we did this time. I don't know if it's because the car behind us had the right turning signal on. Maybe that helped with the decision a little bit. Well, probably while we're doing predictions, we'll take the signal lights for cars around us as part of the consideration. Well, that's very smart. That's really detailed algorithm. We're reaching our destination for the headquarters. We're seeing the big logo right here. It's so smooth, like zero takeover, like zero potential takeover as well. There was not a case for me to potentially need to take over the car myself, and I think that's for a few reasons. First is that it handles things pretty well, and another thing is that it predicts things pretty well. Like it just avoids those potentially dangerous cases. I mean, like I think that's why CNGP is smarter than a human driver. Okay, we're about to end. It's asking me to take over now. 150 meters. Okay guys, we've finished our journey today, and as a conclusion, I think the experience is way beyond my expectation. And I just want to summarize a little bit more. It solves two pain points. First, it helps us to find the right direction, especially when there's complex road conditions. That could be very misleading to drivers just by looking at the navigation map ourselves. That made our navigation decision making a lot safer. If you don't want to always be using the CNGP, if there's like complex road conditions right in front of you, you can turn on the CNGP right there, just for that moment. It solves your problem, helps you, and you can go back to enjoying your own driving afterward. The second is that it can really free me from the bad traffic jam. I don't have to switch between pedals. I don't have to turn off the auto driving system, merge a lane, and then turn it back on. And I truly feel that the autonomous driving era is here. And the most incredible thing is that I'm getting this experience not on a robo-taxi. I'm getting this on my actual car that I drive every day. Okay guys, I'm well impressed today. Xpeng, as usual, demonstrates its determination to build something huge with this beautiful CNGP system. As a supporter from day one, for those of you who don't know, their sale number has also climbed up to the first place among all the new car companies in China, surpassing the figures from companies like NIO and Li Auto. In case there are people still doubting the value of auto driving 2022, as an owner of Xpeng P7 and G3, last year I've proved how useful their highway auto driving NGP was by driving my electric coupe P7 across China from its very east city, Hangzhou, passing through Tibet, Lhasa, reaching the base camp of Mount Everest in a total trip of over 5,000 kilometers. With the release of CNGP, Xpeng's pilot system has covered pretty much all types of roads like highways, city roads, and parking lots. I'm confident to say that I use highway NGP 100% of the time when I'm on highway. So for city NGP, I'm having the same expectation. The only time I need control of my car is when I'm trying to impress a girl on the passenger seat. Also, Xpeng is the only company in the world that develops city level ADAS function based on only 20 to 30 TOPS of computing powers. Imagine having more. The next large SUV, Xpeng G3, coming up soon with a major upgrade in the computing platform, is aiming for a full scenario NGP to cover everything regarding driving. And the driverless experience is expected to come in 2024 to 2025. And they are going to roll out the robo-taxi at the end of this year. Tesla FSD has been evolving for a while, and it's indeed very impressive. And to be honest, we have observed more different drive cases in FSD than CNGP so far, although in different countries. So still a long way for the CNGP to go, but at least there are competitions now. What we know is that being electric is only part one of the story, while being intelligent is truly the second part and can really differentiate car companies from head to toe. For those who don't think auto driving technology is going to help them getting around, just wait and see. Companies and investors aren't blindly putting their bets on the line. Peace for now.